Sherry.
What's
How
going
are you?
on?
Happy New Year's.
Girl, do we play the sound effects? We'll
And
try.
it's New Year's and we're already working, right?
Yes, we've been working before New Year's. Like
Oh,
I was up last night, like working on some of this too, because I found my lighting system and stuff. But
mhm. Well,
all
Sherry,
day, this is what I've been
I'm
doing.
humble. I'm the humble one out of the two. And I'll go ahead and introduce myself to new potential viewers, friends. Now I'm Camelia Walker. And this is my good girlfriend, Sherry. And make sure you follow us, give us a follow to learn more about what we're about. We're on our platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And yeah, we've been at it for a while with this content creator adventure, journey, whatever you want to call it. It's been fun. So we are embarking on a new journey this year. We are starting our podcast called Black, White, and Unfiltered. And I'm going to let Sherry tell you more about it, go into detail more about what the conversation will be about. And yeah, that's me. I'm Camelia.
So, like she said, my name's Sherry. Sherry Cox on Facebook. I have other aliases on different, but you can find all of my different pages on Facebook. But anyways, so we're starting a podcast this year together, and it's called Black, White, and Unfiltered. We're going to be talking about some kind of racy things, uh, to start out. We're going to have a conversation, a sit down conversation about some stuff that might be touchy for black and white women. We're trying to get some water under the bridge, some understanding, some controversy. We're not always going to agree on some things, but we're going to be able to put it out there and try to understand. That's what we're trying to do with this. Um, Now, like obviously, we're not going to give you the full what the conversation is going to be, but that's what we're going to be touching on. Um, we're also getting merchandise, as you can see.
Ooh,
If you would
okay.
like
Mhm.
to get yourself a sweatsuit to support or represent Black, White, and Unfiltered with Miss
Mhm.
Camilla Walker and myself, Sherry Cox, you can get with us for that. Let us know. If that's something you're interested in. Drop it in the comments. Let us know if there's other merchandise and things that you would be interested in purchasing so we can look into that. Some other things too is we will be offering sponsorships. Like if you would like to be a sponsor um, for our podcast and whatnot, we're going to have a few different packages and stuff set up to, either advertise your business, mention your business in each podcast at the end, or, like run the headlines how she's running it down here. We do that. How it says Happy New Year. We'd run your guys' businesses down there and stuff too to try to get you out. If you're like a small business owner, I've been a small business owner before, and I know how hard and difficult it is to get your name out there when you're first starting. This would just be a really good opportunity for those people that are just starting out to kind of get their name out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that, Sherry. Thank you so much for letting us know about what's going down.
Of course,
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of the topics are gonna be like the conversation. It's gonna be random, so it's really just kind of me and Sherry, like Sherry's world, Camilla world's just kind of
just being us, just being us.
uniting. Of course, we are. I know we're not. We're friends. We're cordial. We're respectable towards one another. But in reality, I know what human being like agrees on everything,
Right.
or doesn't have like a conflict or anything. So yeah, like she said, we're not gonna let you know everything. We're
Just
going
know it's
to.
going to be worth tuning into because there is definitely going to be some controversy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we're hoping that later on, down the line with this, we can bring on other people to also have conversation, new ideas, new conversations and such too. If you're someone who would like to be on and do that, put that in the comments, and we can consider that later on.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. So this today, us just getting on here, going live, is just to kind of inform you guys, give you guys the heads up. Sherry, I'm nervous. I'm gonna let you.
I
I'm
see that.
nervous because yeah, I'm gonna be. We're going in an actual studio to sit down together instead of virtual.
Oh my gosh.
Um, and I'm so nervous about that. I wanted to let you know that.
See, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about that though. Like I get extremely
Yeah.
excited about, because like we had such a good time last time for the most part.
Yeah,
You
we did
know,
the photo shoot.
um, I know like the photography stuff didn't go completely as planned,
Mhm.
but I think we had a good time just hanging
You know,
out, and
it
you know,
happened. It happened. And I think that's yeah. We actually succeeded in meeting up. That was the most
yes,
important thing
yeah,
to me. Yeah.
yeah. I just
It,
like that we still had the same energy, if not even better, in person. So
mhm,
like that's kind of what let me know that this is gonna work for sure.
yeah.
You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Oh
Like, and
yeah.
then we got the kids too now that are like interacting. So we FaceTime each other a lot, and when trying to get
Hmm.
this all together and whatnot and talk, and because we're also just girlfriends too.
Yeah.
But like my son, she's got a daughter that's my youngest son's age, and my son can be a handful, but he's always like, he like literally took the phone one time, and I didn't know that he didn't hang up, and just like took off with it while I was upstairs
Mas-
trying to like
Messiah,
conversate it with
yeah, me and
Camilla.
Sherry was on the phone. Yeah, Sherry's like me. We are alike in so many ways. Like, we're always kind of doing things on the go, kind of
Mm-hmm.
keep, swiveling around, doing this, doing that. And he just got her phone and he was like,
Took
I'm
off with it.
hiding. And he was like, Camilla, Miss Camilla. He says my name like he is like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Messiah is just the sweetest. He's the sweetest, and I know there are going to be some future play dates with him and Curry.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to, because I
Yeah,
feel like Karee acts a lot like you, like the shyer you though at first.
yeah.
But I have a feeling she's kind of got some spunk in her once you get to know her.
She does. She gets it with me,
Some
and
sass.
yeah, and I have to, discipline her about getting feisty and
Hmm.
getting
He's the same
testy.
way, but like there's like almost like I try, but he's just all boy. I don't even know what else to say, but
He is,
really,
yeah. He boys are they're good. He wouldn't be a problem at all. Kareem would be the one I would be concerned about if I
oh
just
my gosh, you have
had
no idea.
to with him.
You have no idea. But
Yeah,
listen, that's only because he likes you.
yeah.
So, oh my gosh, he was telling her too when we got on the phone, because we're talking about like we got our stuff, and he kept calling it merch. It's our merch. That's what kids call it.
Hmm.
So whatever, and these TikTok and YouTube people. So he was telling her that he's got his own merch. And what he means by that is Sheen has these specific shirts and pants outfits that have this little mixed looking kid on there, and they just happen to look like him. So he thinks that's his merch.
Oh, he
It's
keeps
something
me
else.
laughing. That's what kids, they're good at that, keeping a smile on
Yeah.
your face. Yeah, they keep it. But yeah, Sherry, I'm nervous. I think that's where a lot of the controversy probably is going. God for knock on wood. I hope that we don't get to that point. Knock on wood, but a little things about me is I freeze up really bad when I'm on the spot, when I'm on these
I
like
don't though, so I can cover you on that. I got
when I'm
you.
on the yeah. So just so you know, so I'm giving you a heads up so you won't think that it's nothing malicious or intentional. You know,
Mm.
no matter how
Girl,
hard I
I'm not
try.
worried about that. Like, cause we had so when
That's
we first
why
started
me
thinking
as
of this
the
idea, and,
content.
and what we were going to talk about, like
Mhm.
we had some phone conversations that kind of got a little like into it for real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, we're both adults, so we know how to agree to disagree. But like, we still had our opinions, and we still had what we're gonna say and what we're gonna think, and it just is what it is. You
Yeah.
like it or lump it, one way or the other.
That's why, because I'm like that, because I carry that type of trait. That's why I kind of march to the beat of my own drums. Even with this content creator, I come and I show up as Camellia, no
Mm-hmm.
antiques, no, it's yeah, and I'm not afraid. I'm unapologetic about it. At the same time, it's just me. Yeah, and I'm no matter how much I prepare, read the script down, like I'm gonna mess up.
But it don't look at it as messing up. Like I think that's a lot of the time what people focus on the fact that, oh, I just messed up, then they freeze and it
Hmm.
makes it worse. Like don't do that. Just go with the flow. Like that's why I'm like somebody that's I'm. This is kind of where we differ. She's more on script and I'm completely not on script.
Hmm.
Um, and so
Teleprompter ready.
yeah, I need I probably need to be a little bit more organized sometimes. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
she's definitely the organized one. I'm kind of like the chaotic hot mess that's just like on the fly. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
But that's
It's all
fine
good.
with
We're gonna
me.
make it
I don't
work.
care. It works for me. So
um.
doing
Yeah, but it's everybody. Whatever floats your boat. You do what you
for
do.
real. But you gotta have balance, and I think that's our balance too. So
Hmm.
that works because like when we went into this, and I talked to someone that has a lot of experience. My good friend Chad Winch. Um, I've been in his studio before and been on one of the podcasts that
Hmm.
he had that aired there at one point in time. Um, and anyways, it was what was it called? Punk rock party pizza pizza party podcast something, I don't know, it was a tongue twister, but anyways, um he's a really good person. He's gonna let us be using the studio.
Hmm.
Well, he kind of told me, I wouldn't do too much of the scripted. He's like, because it makes it seem fake, and like it's scripted. And I'm like, okay.
Hmm.
He's like, especially if you're not really good with doing the scripted and you're not used to it. And I'm like, like reading from the thing like that, like if you're a news person or whatever, which
I
I'm
think
not.
right. I think
I'll be sitting there focused on reading these words and get it jumbled up and be like, you know what? I don't even know what's going on right now.
mhm. Yeah,
What were we talking about?
it's definitely going to confuse you. It's
Yes.
definitely going to confuse you. It's me. It's a lot of things just come natural for me because I've been married for like 22 years. I'm
Mm-hmm.
43 years old. I've had a lot of ups and downs. So when I come, to the public forefront, I'm really telling you about me sharing my opening up. I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm good at that. But when it comes to trying to be educated on something that I have not, experienced or lived or been trained on, yeah, I'm going to get absent-minded. I can't teach anybody something that I don't know myself, and it's something
Right.
that's come natural, to you because you've lived it, you've
Right.
been through it,
Well, and I think
or you survive, you
the
survive.
topics that we're going to be talking about are things that we've both lived through. I mean,
Hmm.
you're a black woman, I'm a white woman. Like we
Oh
both
yeah.
lived the getting the hate from the other side, one
Ooh.
way or the other. And I
Yeah.
know from being in interracial relationships, especially, and having mixed family, like blended families, how
Hmm.
that is, and
and
how
i
I
and
can
I
take
am
things
a
sometimes, how
master
things
pro
I say can be taken.
and I'm a master pro at surviving the hate from all sides, all races, just
Mm-hmm.
being who I am in this skin, in this melanin skin,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just kind of understanding, walking in it and just really feeling it and surviving it. Let's not forget surviving.
And I think for you too, I think we've talked about, and I don't want to go too much into it because it's I want to save it,
Spoil it, you don't spoil
but you've got some backlash from your own family, your own
it. Hmm.
race.
Hmm.
So
Oh yeah,
like
hard,
it's
real hard, real hard.
yeah. So for
And you said it,
being
and
too
I don't know how you was able to cop it and understand, and see it from, I don't, but I'm like, wow, you're good. And I think that's another thing that how you and I, linked to you and bonded with you, because you were like speaking things, and I'm like, wait, she's speaking on things that she know what she's talking about me. So, but yeah, and I think in addition to you and I leading this conversation when it comes to black and white and unfiltered, us taking a stand to black and white and unfiltered, and I don't know if you guys can see, maybe because of but it's a white girl and it's a black girl, black white.
Well, you can barely see the white girl because she's like me. She's really, really white. She's very pale.
Yeah,
It's okay. Here, I'm gonna bring it in. I'll bring mine in
yeah, we'll do
where
that
you
one.
can
Yeah,
see it a little bit better.
yeah, and
But
so yeah,
there we
yeah,
go.
I see it now. I see it now. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
uh
me.
we will be dropping that link and to how to get the merchandise.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was
Oh,
we're definitely gonna lead the conversation with when it comes to black and white. But also when it just comes to women, how we suffer together as a community and women.
yeah.
And
I think
I
my
can
biggest goal is
foresee.
to just get some unity because there's so
Mhm,
much separation. Like
mhm,
when it comes to racial things, because we all know that, like when I'm not a big conspiracy theorist person, but I do believe that they do try to use black and white hatred and stuff when things they're trying to do other things behind our back or whatever in like the news and the government and politics. I do believe they do that. And a lot of the time when that happens, we see a lot of black and mostly I rarely see the men doing it, but I always see the women hating on each other. And that's something like, first of all, I would love to take that distraction away. Second,
mhm,
like, I don't want to contribute to it. I would rather have some unity because instead of hating on each other, we could learn from each other. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
just be better as a whole and be a unit instead of
If you know me,
allowing all that.
yeah, I love where you were going with that, and I was just hating to cut you off, but I just wanted to acknowledge a couple comments. You know,
I can't
yeah,
see. So
I really did forget we were on live. Like, for real, I'm sorry.
it's because we
Yeah,
talk so much on FaceTime.
yeah.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah, I'll put some I'll put some up here. It looks like the first person that was in here was Miss Belinda Sally. Hello, thank you. She,
Hello.
hey, thank you so much for joining us. And we're just on here, just serving a little PSA about our upcoming meetup with Black, White, and Unfiltered podcast. Me and the lovely Sherry Cox is just going to sit down and we're going to hash it out. We're going to start with
We
episode
are.
one, leading the conversation to these black and white issues, especially like she was just saying, when it comes to women, what is it? Let's get to the bottom of it. What is it?
For real.
We are going to put our joint forces together and come up with some answers, understanding, healing, and so much more. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And thank you guys for coming in. And yeah, this is a logo. Jessica Colbert says, I see you like the logo is made for y'all. Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Jessica, for coming in and
We
supporting the
put a
stream.
lot of work into this. You know,
We did,
how long, when did we start this? When did you initially get the idea and call me about this?
okay, let me be honest. Let me give my honest truth. Okay, I had started like because you and I had really, me and Sherry had bonded really, really good over
Mhm.
some online turbulence a year or two ago with some
Oh,
bad,
goodness.
yeah. So me and you, we got really bonded and everything. So henceforth, like 3 4 5 months ago of this year, well, no, I'm sorry, 2025, this is 2026. I had already started my podcast. I had kind of, I was going live, and I was like, okay, let me get let me get with the program. Everybody with the podcast community is growing. Let me jump in.
Right.
And it was the conversation with, Sherry. Me and her was texting, and I was like, hey, you want to do this podcast? You want to do a podcast? And and that's how it started. And I was like, what can we
What
bring?
month was that though? How long ago was that? Because it seems like it's been like I'm just now realizing how
It
much
was like
work we
we
put
did the
into this.
we did the photo shoot in I want to say September. We did the photo shoot
Yeah. But it was
So
like a month or two
I
before
brought it to
that.
you like around like the in very end of August, 1st of September, something like that.
Are you sure it wasn't July that you brought it to me? Because we had to order our stuff. I remember that it took 2 weeks,
We did the photo shoot. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
so
Yeah.
it was like July, end of July, beginning of August.
Well, but it was no, it was really in September. It was really 3 weeks after we had the conversation. Everything was ordered. We ordered our apparel for the photo shoot and everything. All of that, coordinating the conversations. That was a course of over 3 weeks. hmm It was over a course of 3 weeks, and I had already started my podcast, and I'm like, and I just, I was looking for people like you to partner with, and I asked you about it, and then of course we put our heads together and kind of decided, or
We always make
decided,
things way bigger. We
yeah,
I feel like anytime we go into conversation about something, it's never just like, oh, it's just like an idea and we just leave it there. It
yeah,
always ends up being like when you had got a hold of me about your meet and greet stuff. I was
yeah,
like, no, listen, this is what you should do. Let's make it bigger. I know
yeah,
I didn't get to attend or anything because I had my
yeah.
own things going on, but like it ended up being so good for you. And I was like really, really happy about that. You know what I mean?
It was the biggest highlight of the 2025 year, and I'm so happy that like you were saying about the photo shoot, everything didn't happen that I wanted to happen with the meet and greet,
Mhm.
but I got it accomplished, and I was
We
proud.
we did definitely did that. I
I
mean,
love the photo shoot. The photo shoot was epic. It was
it was fun.
everything.
It was fun.
It's just that you are your toughest critic. I'm a tough critic of our
Hmm.
work, and when something don't really come to life like you vision so but it was
Yeah.
good. Trust me, it was good. And then I don't know if you know, but a lot of people got a lot of feedback that came to me in my inbox. But in spite of like the hate, and I've talked about this a little bit on my own podcast that I received and
Mhm.
everything. I kind of went to a whole episode about surviving the hate, but I do get the love, and I don't want to overshadow that by always talking about it as if being negative. But I
Right.
do get the love, and I really appreciate everybody for giving me the love. When you put the work in, when you put work in, when you bring something to the table to help someone, or to make a difference, to make a change, or voice up, or stand up, show up, you'll get the love. You'll get the love, but you gotta stay on the hustle. Gotta
Yeah, keep it
yeah.
positive. Like
Yeah,
you
keep
were
a
saying
positive
today that
outlook.
it says trust and believe. When I say the last 2 years, not this year, I'm talking about 25 and 24 were some of the hardest years of my life.
Hmm.
But you would have never been able to have guessed it until I told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember you and everybody else when we first started doing the content creator stuff, like with the video, like the face or not FaceTime, live
Hmm.
stuff, were so shocked by the stuff that I was going through. And you know, the thing is you gotta, for me, God keeps me going, and I'm always gonna pay tribute to Him. I'm not perfect. I do have a potty mouth. I'm working on it off and on. But I am human.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, I think as people, we really do need to be thankful, and I'm thankful for everything I do have. You know, the things that I don't have or aren't going my way. It's just a matter of time before they do. Because I know I have gotten my corner and stuff, and like this is a big deal. This is something at one point in time, because I was going through so much, I probably would not, without Camilla, I probably would not have got out of my like little rut and got
Hmm.
up and decided to keep doing it. So
Hmm.
I'm very thankful to you for that, because had that not happened, had you not called me and been like, let's do this, and then continuously called me to do it, I probably wouldn't have. Because I'm a much better supporter of others and what they want to do and helping them being creative and stuff than applying that same pressure to my own life. So, that's
The same here. What was the actual attachment to from me to Sherry Cox? the actual attachment happened, transpired. When I was like, this girl is gonna be my ride or die, like my online bestie, but like, and then it became in real life. We've been in real life, like,
Yeah.
but you don't know this, or don't nobody know this. But I'll go ahead and say it now. My earring, sorry, but I'll go ahead and say it. But when we went through, like I said, when we went through that online turbulence with, the back in the day, and how you just kind of like you went you got ghetto.
I can do
in
that.
my
Yeah, I
in my
can. When I
defense,
get it takes a lot for me, but something I will not ever tolerate is watching somebody continuously bully somebody or just several people in general. You can bully me all day because I don't really care. I'm not going to care at the end of the day with who you are, what you're doing. Bye.
yeah,
But you're not going to bully somebody that I know is a good person and that I care about. We're not going to do that
yeah.
because then I'm going to get ignorant
Hmm.
and then you get to see Sherika instead of Sherry. So,
And she was like, and so yeah, and it was really like a form of just ugliness towards
it
me
was
that was just unwarranted. It was unjustifiable.
unnecessary, completely
Unnecessary. I
unnecessary.
mean, it was unnecessary, and it took this lady right here that you see on the screen, Sherry Cox. We went live, and she just blasted the young guy, and just
Mhm.
went belligerent on my behalf, defending me, Camilla, and that's what women are supposed to do. That's what
Mhm.
women are supposed to do. And
And
another
it
thing,
should not matter the color or the race
yeah,
or any of that.
hmm, yep,
What matters is if you're a good person to me,
yep,
then I should have your back and be a good person to you.
hmm,
Now, same token though, if you're not a good person to me like that individual was,
hmm,
don't expect me to have your back at all, buddy.
right,
Like, now, a lot of the times I would stay out of it if it was somebody per se I didn't know or
hmm,
whatever, and I didn't know the situation, but I knew the situation very well.
very well, yeah,
So I was not going to sit or stand by and let someone be so hurtful to such a good person that would not stand up for themselves in the way that they needed to that individual to get that individual to stop the harassment.
right. Yeah. And if so with that being said, you think that Sherry Cox is not worth getting on the road driving to go support our endeavor that we decided to come up and do our project. You guys to be out of your mind. And I don't care what any says that I'm crazy or whatever. You know what true love is, what true support is. Really, you know what that is. If it's being shown
Yeah,
to you, then you need to reciprocate and show up and step up to the plate.
right.
Please
And
do that.
really, it can be, it not only can it be like life changing, but it can be life saving to have
Hmm.
somebody in your corner like that, and to give you just that. You have to be an understanding individual too, because you have to be able to take criticism. You have to be able to hear that other person out when you're having differences, you know what I mean, or
Hmm.
you're not understanding maybe, because there's been several times Camilla said something, and at the point in time I might not be understanding, and then I come back, take a minute, and I'm like, okay, oh, I see what she's saying, and then I have to call her back. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is where we're at. This is
Yep.
what we're doing. Thank you.
Hmm.
Because especially with us going to the conversation about black and white women, we come from such different backgrounds and how we've been raised, and it's almost like a cultural. It's not even almost. It is a cultural difference,
Yeah.
a big cultural difference.
Hmm.
Um, Regardless if we're all in America or not, it's not the same. So
It's
we
not.
have so much to gain from each other if we just stop trying to divide. And
Mm.
you're going to have those hard conversations. You're
Yeah.
going to have them with each other.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of me and you for taking the lead. I mean, you know what? We're gonna try our best. No, we might not be perfect, and we might not get it right.
Mhm.
We may miss our mark with the context or the language or whatever, but at least we're trying. So what? And that's all
At
that
least
matters.
we're doing it. We're not just talking about it, or we're not just
Yeah.
sitting by and thanking it and letting people,
Hmm.
keep
Hmm.
the divide. We're doing something to unite,
Mm-hmm.
something that's much bigger than ourselves.
It's definitely much bigger than us. It's
Hmm.
definitely, and that's another thing that it takes for us to understand. But hold that thought. Let's pause on the conversation. We'll pick it up and look at some comments. Belinda Sally is commenting and letting us know that she's in tune to our conversation. Thank you so much, Belinda. She commented, "We don't listen to one another." So
We
true.
don't. We
We,
it's closed ears.
yep.
We want to be
That was
heard a
my
lot of the
problem.
time.
That was my problem in a lot of relationships, in all relationships, married, friend, girlfriend. Yeah, listen, and I had to learn that. I had to learn it. It took
I
me.
think. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, I was done. I was done.
But I think for me too, because even in my younger stuff, I've grown. There's things I can't take back anything that I've done,
Hmm.
but I can move forward with a better understanding of how to deal with different situations. And
Yeah.
I know a big flaw within me used to be, and still sometimes is. I have to catch myself though, um, which I'm normally pretty good at. Is I once you tell me, instead of hearing me out, if I have a different opinion than you know, instead of hearing me out, let me finish talking. If you tell me I'm wrong without,
Hearing.
just trying to put yourself in my shoes or trying to understand what I'm saying, then I automatically don't want to hear nothing you say. I would shut it down. I would be like, no, now you're wrong and I'm right, and this is how it is. A lot of time we do that. We close our ears to other people because we want to be heard, we want to be right.
Yeah.
um, and I think especially with the race thing, because there's so much hurt that comes with that topic between black and white women, that it's not only the I want to be right, or I'm not being heard, so I'm going to make you hear me.
Hmm.
It's I have this pain and this hurt and this baggage I've carried because of this or that that's happened in my life or to people that I know and care about.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Pain. We all should respect each other's hurt and pain, and what we've gone through and suffered through. We should respect one another's pain. Pain is pain. Whether you are
mhm.
hurting emotionally or you got hurt in an accident, it's still pain. It still gets you down. It still is you're putting yourself in a distress situation, or you're in a distress situation to where you should give that person some compassion and understanding and consideration. Period. But I got what you're saying, and we have another lady in here by the name of Miss Black Diamonds coming in,
Oh,
supporting the
that's our
screen.
girl. She came. She
Black
came about what a month or so into the when me and Camilla talked about, like, we used to be in this group and we used to do
Yeah,
some content creating, sharing and stuff
yeah,
back and forth.
yeah.
She came into this group about like she was it a month or was it less than a month? I
Talking
know
about
she wasn't one of the original like five, but she came in pretty soon after that. She was like the
yeah.
second round of
Because
people.
because are you talking about the ordeal with me and you met at? Okay, so
Yes.
she came because I had mentioned her. I brought her. I referred her, suggested her to come in. So she came in like soon after we all kind of got rallied together. She came in. Yeah. So and I just really she is another lady that is very supportive, and she's supporting everything that I do. Content creator, just me, loving me, my my personality, who I am. Uh, I love her, and we've been, like I said, we've all kind of connected around the same time. Yeah.
I think all this kind of stemmed from her in a way too, though. You know that?
She what?
I said, I think all this kind of stemmed from her, though. Do you know that?
It did. I told her last night. I don't know if you what because I know you came in the conversation, but we were on our live stream last night, and I told her this, and I'll say it again on here, that if it hadn't been for her, I don't really think that I'll be encouraged to kind of just keep going and pursuing the content creator world, because she made me feel like she saw something in me that I'm like, wow, she sees something in me that I don't see in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me saying that because she's so supportive. She's very, very supportive, and and another thing, what I loved about her, she's just really, I love the way she just shows up on her platform. with this burst of
Oh yeah, her
yeah, with
food.
this burst of positive energy just on her normal day.
So I was
Just
going
yes,
somewhere a little bit different with it
yeah, huh?
because so do you remember when we had a conversation? I think it was you, me, and Raquel, and I don't remember who else. Um, but it was about like the difference between black women and white women, and we were talking about hair, is I think
Yeah,
what it
I
started
remember
with.
that
But
conversation. Yeah, I remember that.
I had got on there because I had got onto Black Diamond before I'd ever really known her too. Like we had had a few different interactions and stuff when we were in that group, and I got on with her and the lead of that group at the point in time that we ended up having our issues with. Um, and they were talking, and I had said we were talking about her age, and I had said to her, I said, "Black don't crack," and
Yeah,
I think she took it from me wrong because I'm white, first of all, and she also didn't understand at the point in time my background. Like I like someone who is like my mom to me, who I'm saying with is black. You've met her. You've met Diane
mhm.
and stuff, and she actually is the one that gave me that saying and that
Yeah,
phrase. And
yeah.
she would always tell me,
That's how
baby,
you're
because
saying. That's how
I'd
you
be
need
like,
to say it.
why are you looking so? When she first came around, I had her birthday. I went to get her birthday cake and stuff, and it was her son put on there, "You old bat," and it was like a baseball cake.
Hmm.
And anyways, when I found out her age, when we went to go, I was like, she's not that old. And he's like, yeah, she is. And I said, I didn't have no idea you were that old. I thought you're like 20 years younger than what you are. And she goes, that's because black don't crack, baby. And I'm like, and that's she says that all the time. She does the
Was that
same
your
thing.
first time hearing that, Sherry?
No, that wasn't my first time hearing it. Well, no, that was my first time hearing that phrase,
Right.
but that was like years ago, and I mean
Oh, okay.
like 2019.
Okay.
That then. So then when I came into this and I said this to her, she was
Hmm.
like, you know what? I'm gonna let that be okay because it's you, Sherry. But you could tell she didn't like it.
Okay.
And so then we came on camera and I said, I think I offended her. I was like, and I didn't mean to, but I want it to be understood that like I am in a relation. I have interracial kids. I have live with interracial. This is my family to me. So I say things just, and nobody takes any bad vibes from it or nothing. So I'm not used to that somewhat. But I'm also somebody that always says what I'm thinking without completely thinking it through sometimes. So anyways, that's what I mean when I say I think this all started from that, because after that, the conversation stemmed about white women and black women to the hair to how we feel about each other.
I'm gonna have to say that or excuse myself from this. I don't know. I was totally in the blind. I didn't know what sparked that conversation. So I'm Benny and and I ain't in it on that one because I was just really clueless of how we got to the conversation, but I remember partaking in it. I do
Yeah,
it vividly the
yeah.
conversation.
But
Um,
but yeah, that's how like a lot of it started, because I felt, I was like, well, that's something that needs to be addressed. Like that's something that needs to be addressed. And then we addressed it, and then we kept talking about it. It was Karina, me, you, and Raquel, I think.
Korean. Let me see. Korean. Oh yeah,
Karina.
Korean.
And it's just something we also went another live with the women talking about something like that. But we got so many views, and so
There you go. Thank you. Whew, I got your back. Thank you. Please come back. Please, 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 please.
okay, I don't know if it's letting me back on or not. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear and see you now. I can hear and see you now.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting a phone call of FaceTime. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
but anyways, so where was I going? Okay, so we had those conversations, and then I think when we started talking about like, hey, do you want to do a podcast with me? We weren't really, we didn't know what we were going to talk about, And I think you would asked me, what should we talk about? I was like, you know what would be a really good subject? Like,
Oh, Obi said that it was me. So I think, or do you have the right person in mind? Because you remember Obi was in the circle as well. Obi or Julie Way from UK. She's Nigeria, but she was in the based in the
no,
UK.
but she was in the conversation about the hair. She
Okay.
was the other person in the conversation about the hair.
Okay.
She wasn't the one that was in Black Diamond's live because that was
Oh,
me, Black Diamond, Adrian.
gotcha,
Um,
gotcha, gotcha,
and
gotcha.
I came on like he beamed me up, Scotty, you know. So
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember the situation. I remember, but
yeah,
I
but when
don't
we
remember the black don't crack. Now that I don't remember. I don't remember that
yeah,
one.
I don't think you were on that live, but I addressed it in that live that we had, and I was like, yeah, I think she took me wrong stuff. I was like, but you know, we have so many different things, and there's things that I don't understand, and there's things that I do understand. And I do understand that it's hard for Black women in this. Like I've seen this struggle. Like I've definitely with the hair, I've seen that struggle, and I've actually tried to take some of it on. Like I even bought my own wig this last year, and wore it around until Macy, our Frenchie, got it and tore it up. She thought it was some animal or something. I don't know. I left it on my bed. Bad decisions.
She said, Obi said, yes, I still have the video.
It was
That's so
such
smart of
a
you,
good
Obi.
video.
That is so
It was.
smart of you for even for saving it because yeah.
Yeah, you should send it or repost it because I don't think I have it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Miss Black Diamond, she said, no, Hunty, never took it wrong. That's what she got. She said, no, honey, never took it wrong, girl. I'm the coolest ever. Yeah, I thought
She was
this,
cooking. I
yeah.
still remember her face. She was cooking and she looks over. She goes, "I'm gonna let that be okay because it's you, Sherry." And she keeps whipping her food. I'm like, "Oh shoot! I think I've made her mad."
And that's another thing. We have like these preconceived as we, black and white. I think we have there are still a lot of issues. Don't get me wrong. I know I'll get murdered if I say we don't have issues or yeah. No, that ain't the case. I ain't gonna say that, but I think that we have overcome a lot. I think
I
that
think there's been a lot of growth,
growth is what I yeah. That's what I was
you
trying to say.
know,
I was gonna say
but
there's been a lot of
there's
growth.
still growth to be had.
Yes. And
And
I don't want this conversation to be like rehashing things that we have, made growth on. I don't want it to be that. But, we still want and don't want to reflect on the bad either. Don't want to keep looking back in the
well,
past either.
I'll tell you right now, for anybody that thinks that they're going to come on, when eventually we might do some call-ins or whatever, if we ever do decide to do that, what we're not going to do is rehash things that have already been hashed out because there's
Mhm.
no point to it. You know what I mean? Like it's not helpful. We need to focus on moving forward in that growth that still needs to be had. Like
It's eerie.
to
Yeah,
me,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Like I say, I'm nervous. So when we meet up in this studio, I am so nervous. I am so nervous, but sometimes I can pull it off under pressure and just step up and get the job done because
I think us being in person, I think it's going to calm you down. I think that's going to calm you down because
I'm excited not for just the black and white part. It's taking the black and white because we have to resolve our issues before we can move forward and try to resolve issues in the women community. Period. So
yeah,
we have to do this step first.
yeah.
So and that's what I'm excited about. So yeah, it's
I'm
okay to be
excited
nervous.
about that. I'm just excited about that. It's just the first step to something better, something that nobody's really paying any attention to because they don't want to. People just think if you think about it, people want to. A lot of people like misery. They want to sit in it, and misery likes company. And then you go back and forth because of that. Like some people don't want the change, but there's those of us that do. But a lot of times it's lost on us because we sit back and we stay silent.
And
That's what we're
sometimes we
taking.
cap and sometimes we cap on the mess. We capitalize on the mess. You got to think about that too. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to consider that. That's a whole different dilemma. We can't do nothing about that. Some people cap on the mess.
Right.
Just so you
Yep.
guys know, disclaimer. But there are some still real issues that affect Black women, that affect white women, that affect women. Period. And that's what I'm on. Like I'm
See,
so
and
far ahead.
I just kind of went through
Yeah.
some things that are going to be real good conversations for the
Mhm.
podcast. Of course, I'm not going to put anybody on blast or put any names out there because that's just not something that's immature and it's not something I do or I'm going to do unless you really deserve it,
Mhm.
like our former leader, CEO of nothingness. Um, but with that
Sorry.
being said, um, I I do try to be the bigger person in most situations.
Mhm.
Um, I cannot always be. I am 5'3", so you've got to give me the room.
Mhm.
But I'm growing still.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is just going to be so good in so many different ways. It's going to be hard.
It's
Definitely
definitely gonna
going
be
to be
hard.
hard.
It's not gonna be easy.
No.
It's not gonna be easy because yeah, I'm like Sherry. I love you. I love you, Sherry. But I gotta say this. I gotta. That's just. I know that's. I'm gonna bring that energy. Just letting you know, Sherry.
Right.
Don't
Bring
get
it on. You
offended.
know I'm not
Don't
scared
get
of it because
offended.
I'll give it right back. I'll give it right back. Girl,
Don't get offended. But um, I always though. I always really do though. All jokes aside, I really do work hard to, try to coexist with people and things and situations that I'm uncomfortable with. And
right.
try to find my ways that, it's yeah, it can be really like touch and go. Like it can be really cutthroat, you know,
Mhm.
um, trying to, move it along in this world. So somebody gotta be humble sometimes. And then you got to know when you don't gotta.
Mm, do they? Do they?
I'm the person that picks and chooses on when I should be humble and not. Um, yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
I can't say I am humble a lot in person with a lot of things,
mhm.
but there's times where I'm very much not. I'm not humble about things that like I'm humble about things that are personal. You know what I mean? If I love you and we have a good relationship, I'm humble within that because that's my love and my time and my energy should be going to the people
Right.
and the things that I care about. If you're not somebody I care about, or if it's something that needs to be addressed, I'm just gonna address it. I will address it. Like it's gonna be a we're gonna have to hash it out thing. And I think that's why it's so good that we have such a strong bond and such a good relationship because I don't think a lot of people would make it through these conversations that we've already had to get to this point and be
Yeah.
able to still have that friendship and not feel hurt by
Yeah.
the other individual.
Most
Because
definitely.
we've
Most
had some
definitely.
conversations already that like we haven't agreed on or that, you know, we're kind of like getting a little sassy back and forth where Camille's like, but Sherry. And I'm like,
Mhm.
girl, you heard what I said. Like, girl, but Sherry, nothing. So,
And then
like
it and then it goes back to what you were saying. I was thinking you was like, some issues that women have, black women have about pain, and when you said that some you don't really want to hear people out that don't hear you out and listen to your
right,
side or don't put themselves in your shoes, but sometimes you gotta sit back and just realize like wow, I've been through this. I don't know if I
I
don't think
don't
that person
understand.
can survive what I've been through with, And it's
Hmm.
some people that don't. Like some people that can survive certain things, and some people don't. You know what I mean? So, but I know how. That's when I choose not to be humble. I'm like, show you like when you get through what I get through. When you if you happen to survive what I've survived, and I see you, you're gonna get my respect. You're gonna get my
Hmm.
time and my and my attention and an ear from me when I see you, survive what I went through.
Right,
That's how I feel sometimes. When it comes to my life, and
right.
and
I
and
completely
understand the
understand
next
that,
person.
and I feel that heavily because a lot of the stuff that I've been through in the last couple of
Mm-hmm.
years, much less just like my whole life is just a hot mess, just about as much as me. But like with this whole podcast thing, with all of this, like you you have that right because it doesn't matter if it seems on the outside to everyone else if what you're going through is hard or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to you because we're all unique. We all go through different things and we deal with those things differently because we're unique. So that was hard for that person or that individual, whether it be you, me, or whoever. But we do need to show more compassion to each other
We
and
we do.
understanding we're never going to grow if we do not. If you want to stay stagnant, and I'm talking to everyone out there listening, the people that aren't listening, that are black and white females, if you want to stay stagnant and you don't want to grow as an individual, then you are more than welcome to do that. However, I'm choosing not to do that. Camilla's choosing not to do that. Let's have some growth so we can work together to do better things. There's no point in staying stagnant. It is 2026. Let's do something different this year. I think Camilla left me. But anyways, with the podcast part, I do think that like there's gonna be some tears. There's gonna be some heated, angry conversations that might not be so pretty. Um, there's
There you
gonna
go.
be some laughter and fun, but it's gonna be all because there's gonna be things that I'm sure for Camilla and for myself that are just hard for us to talk about with our personal struggles
Are we
and
back on
our
now?
on our own lives. I think we've been on. I don't know. Like you went off and then
Okay, you were still okay. That's good. As long as you were still on, because you were getting good. You were getting down.
yeah, I was like I finished what I was saying and I was like I think
Okay,
Camilla
good,
left
good,
me, but
good,
I
good.
kept on going.
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds. I was off, and then while I was
We're
off, I
almost to
looked.
an hour, girl.
Yeah,
Do we
uh
have
huh.
any more comments?
Yeah, Miss Mary. Miss Mary. She said, black woman who's raising white children. Oh, it's yeah, Miss Mary. Yeah, and that's another one of my. Sorry about
I
that.
think
People
I've
do.
seen a Christmas picture or something of hers,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I was like, I was confused,
Yeah,
and
and
then
it's been like that for a while now.
I
Yeah,
had no idea
ever
until
since they were like little toddlers.
that's that's amazing. That's amazing because I
Hmm.
don't know if I've ever really came on here and talked about this very much, but I was a foster kid for a long time, like my whole life, just
Hmm.
about. I from second grade on. I was in and out of the foster system, and I unfortunately was aged out. I had to age out because I was too old, didn't get adopted. By the time they put me up for adoption, I was like way too old, and it just was not going to happen.
Hmm.
But that I really appreciate people who do that. That's another goal I have, and my future stuff is. I promise you, if I ever win the lottery, like I will personally go to group homes and foster homes and go
Right.
buy them kids things, instead of them living in a trash bag. I think something that was hard for me, in 2024 when I didn't have my own place, I was moving, pretty much couch surfing, was such a hard reminder
Hmm.
of that time in my life and just
Hmm.
feeling out of control again with my own life. That was really difficult. But
Yeah.
I've done a lot of growth, like some things, like that I've been through. Like I've I'm kind of proud of myself and where I've come, like the fact that I'm even on here doing this and that we are
And
following through with
I'm
what we
glad you're
say.
starting I'm glad you're starting your own podcast, so that
I
way you
know.
can this whole, and another good benefit about us, meeting up, teaming up to do Black White and Unfiltered podcast and start the conversation. People can start and follow your personal story, follow my personal story, with conversations with Camilla, how I opened up. So you tell people, you already put it out, Mind Over Cox. That was a dope art, your brand, your logo. It was so nice. I was like, wow, Sherry Cox, you are
Listen, I
killing it.
had
Tell everybody about it.
I have to it was kind of a pun name because my last name's Cox, and when I was younger, so my name is Sharon, but it's spelt like Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know for a long time that it was Sharon. I just thought it was Sharon. And then being in and out of foster care, I always went by Sherry growing
Mm-hmm.
up. So it took me a long time to figure out that my name was Sharon. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's find out it's Sharon. But it's spelt Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I'm saying this to say, like, it came off as if my name was Sharon Cox, which is just not a good look. It's just not a good look. Let's just be
Yes.
honest. I've had people, like, I used to go get Casey's Pizza when I go from my VOTEC to my homeschool. And they would put Cox on my pizza and stuff. Like, I had kids when I was in second grade and I had no idea what they were laughing about, would laugh at me about this, like boys. So like my whole life I was getting, if I got called over the intercom at school, made fun of it. It took me until I was like 16 to realize what was going on, to be honest. I was like, whoa, wait, what?
So Mind Over Cox. How? So that's.
Because if you think about it, it reminds you of, you know, think with your head, not your head.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mind over cost, which is me, like mind over matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
like it.
it was just like a pun. I thought it was really good. But there was a couple. I think you were one of the people I reached out to. There was a few of them. They were just so good that I just could not. Like there was one I liked a lot too. It was called Coxology.
Okay.
Because a lot of the time, if you listen to me talk about things, I use psychology to talk about a lot of things to people.
Yeah.
And because it's important to me, you know what I mean? Like, it's, if you're really trying to be your best person, you need to know some psychology. But then if you're trying to understand
That
other
part.
people.
That part.
So, Coxology, I really like that. But from the votes, I let people vote on, Mind Over Cox won.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just because it was funny and it grabbed attention. So, of course, if you're going into this kind of industry with content creating and podcasting and stuff, whatever you do, whatever grabs the most attention is what you want, because that's how you're going to increase your reach and da 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 da. So I went with that name. I went ahead and made a Canva poster and did an AI thing and put it up there. Now I haven't done my first one yet. I actually plan on doing it this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being a really good evening to do it because my son has his cousin and his brother over. And so
Oh.
he's down at my butt for once. That's why you haven't heard anything from him. He is not coming in my video, got in my video. But yeah, we also, I can't wait. Listen, I think I'm going to have to top it up a little bit after an hour. I can't go past a little bit after an hour because I already ate, but I'm going back for seconds. I've been craving this seafood salad Diane makes.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama D, if you guys know who I'm talking about, if you don't, Diane, Mama Diane, Mama, whatever. Diane Welch Clemens. That's who I stay with. That's my son's grandma and uh, my mother from another brother.
Happy New Year, Miss Diane Clemens. Happy New Year.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
She makes this seafood salad. I just love it, and she made it tonight. Like I finished, like, oh, let me get the stuff. And she made that. She made some spaghetti and breadsticks, but yeah, her spaghetti and her seafood salad is good. Most of her food's good. I think that my number one favorite is I don't know. She made some mean potato salad for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good, but I
I'm sure you're
still,
not the only. I'm sure you're not the only one. I mean, I don't want to keep anybody else's attention from New Year's, the holiday. I want everybody to get back to their holiday as well and go enjoy their food, their evening, their entertainment, or whatever they do.
yeah, girl.
Yeah.
It's we had
I, hmm
I love her greens the most out of everything.
Yeah.
That's why I went from being smaller. If anybody has seen the weight gain in me, I was not around here. I was not coming over, and I was staying decent with my weight until I started coming back around. That's her fault. I don't care. It's her fault. It is her fault. She single-handedly turned me into a big bag. But anyways, all jokes
But
aside, I love her. You know, I love my family. My sister, I was supposed to be with her for New Year's. We didn't though because some things came up. But uh, yeah, I've it's been a good entering into the New Year's. You know, we spent it good.
yeah, this was refreshing. I really like this. We started the new year off with
Yes, I. That's why I
the,
picked it. I was like, when you told me you and Miss Black Diamond had one, I thought it was. I think we both thought it was today that you guys
I
had
did.
yours
I was confused. I
originally,
thought what I was doing with
and
her
I was like,
today. And I had to
oh
go back
no,
and look at our
because
conversation. I said, when did we plan it? I got to go.
and
I'm
I
gonna get
don't know if
better
you
at.
guys know this, but we chose the 22nd because the 22nd. I don't usually do anything for my birthday.
Mhm,
Nobody usually does anything for my birthday.
mhm.
They might like I might get a dinner and stuff from people I'm close with, like fix me food and stuff, but like no one besides my friend Amber when she used to live down here, she used to always make sure she did something for my birthday.
Yeah.
But we'd always go
And
Mexicans. But other than that, no
I
one
got a
really ever
lot of
does anything.
content to. Well, I got a lot of content sitting up that I need to chop up and I need to fix. But I do need you to, because I'll chop this up and make it easy and I'll repost it. But announce the date that we're going to go
Okay,
into.
yeah, that's what I'm about to do. That's what I'm about to do. So we are doing the podcast. We are doing our intro to it, our first episode on the 22nd of this month, which is also my birthday. I will be 35, you know, over the hump to 40.
Mm-hmm.
Here I go. But I'm super excited about this because, you know, like I get to do something productive for my birthday. You know, I've also been sober for like a while now and not smoking and just
Congratulations.
a lot of, you know, stuff. So, um, I'm pretty proud of all those things. And then, you know, there's still things I'm working on, but I think this is going to be really big for me for my birthday. And I'm so glad that Camilla let it be on this date. We're going to try to dress to impress. So you'll have to give us outfit ratings and stuff. But the 22nd, and what time? Did we decide the time that we were doing it? I don't think we did. We'll keep you posted on the time.
Mhm.
But just do
There's
not
a
miss
lot of
it.
other logistics surrounding it that we hadn't really discussed on how we should do it, but we'll definitely keep you guys posted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But 22nd, keep
it'll be
watch out for
here.
the 22nd. Free your day up or whatever. Keep watch on mine and Camilla's pages, our social media pages, um, because we're going to be posting the time and the flyer for that. Do not miss out on this. And
Mhm.
please, please make sure you give us a reaction. Make sure you send us out to your friends, your followers, whatever. Um, all the love that you can give and support you can give. And my content creators, you know what to do. You know how to do it. Do that. Pineapples, pineapples. We'll give you guys some pineapples. Well,
Do the,
if you ever tuned into any of my stuff from before, you know what that means.
mhm.
So just we appreciate you. We love you, and thank you for tuning in and supporting us really so much.
Thank you and happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year!
Enjoy the rest of the new year with your family and blessings to you all. Bye.